Okay, here is video 4 for photosynthesis. Now that we've kind of talked about how photosynthesis occurs through the two different reactions, we're going to talk about some alternative pathways for photosynthesis. Um, so C3 photosynthesis in this, the leaves are going to have different structure and means of fixing carbon dioxide than C4 plants. These are what you would think of as typically, your plants, wheat, rice, oats, things like that. They have mesophyll cells that are parallel, and some of their cells don't contain chloroplast. So as a result, cells using the Calvin cycle are exposed to carbon dioxide. In C3 photosynthesis, rubisco carboxylase is going to bind oxygen as well as carbon dioxide. So you're also going to have oxygen in the Calvin cycle during C3 photosynthesis, and that is called photorespiration. It's a wasteful reaction because it uses oxygen and releases carbon dioxide, which decreases the output of the Calvin cycle, so you're not producing as much glucose as normal photosynthesis. Oxygen concentration in the leaf rises when the weather is hot, because plants are going to keep their stomata closed to conserve water. So in C3 photosynthesis, here's our mesophyll cell in the leaves. So these are oats, wheat, rice, things of that nature. Here is the bundle sheath cells that do not contain any chloroplast like normal photosynthesis does. And then carbon fixation is over here. Carbon fixation comes in, and you still get G3P, just not as much. Instead, you're going to be getting a lot of C3 for C3 photosynthesis. Next, we have C4, and these are plants such as sugarcane and corn. Okay. Their mesophyll cells are arranged in rings instead of in layers, but they're also going to contain chloroplasts. In mesophyll cells, carbon dioxide is initially fixed into a 4-carbon molecule, and then that is later broken down into a 3-carbon molecule in carbon dioxide, where carbon dioxide enters the Calvin cycle. These plants are going to be found in hot and dry climates. Okay, sugarcane is a lot of time found in places like Hawaii. And then also you're going to have things like corn, which is found a lot, in the Midwest, where it's hot and dry. So the stomata are going to be closed to help conserve water. So oxygen is going to build up in the leaves. But unlike C3 photosynthesis, rubisco carboxylase is not exposed to oxygen, so photorespiration does not occur in C4. So instead, C4 plants are going to deliver carbon dioxide to the Calvin cycle. So here we have a ring instead of layers in C4 photosynthesis. So in C4 photosynthesis, carbon dioxide is changed to a C4 molecule, and then it's changed again to carbon dioxide, which then enters the Calvin cycle, and you get G3P from C4 photosynthesis. So when the weather is moderate, C3 plants normally have the advantage, but when it's hot and dry, C4 plants are going to have the advantage. So in early summer, C3 plants such as bluegrass are predominant in lawns and the cooler parts of the United States, but in midsummer, when it gets hotter, C4 plants are going to take over. And the final alternative pathway for photosynthesis is called the CAM pathway. And this is found mainly in succulents, okay, such as cactus, cacti, and things like pineapple. These are going to be in really, really hot, really, really dry places like the desert. And one thing about CAM pathways is that they do photosynthesis based on the different time of day. So during the night, CAM is going to fix carbon dioxide to form C4. And then during the day, you're going to release carbon dioxide to the Calvin cycle. So CAM is a lot like C4, except it does different parts of carbon fixation at different times of the day. So this is done at night. This is done during the day. Now you might ask, why the heck does it do it at night? Well, during the night, it's able to CAM plants are able to open up their stomata to take in that carbon dioxide without losing precious resources such as water to evaporation. And then during the day, it goes through the Calvin cycle. So the last section is comparing photosynthesis to cell respiration. Just know that both plant and animal cells are going to carry out cell respiration, but only plant cells carry out photosynthesis. So cell respiration occurs in the mitochondria, breaks down glucose, gives off oxygen. It takes in oxygen and gives off carbon dioxide, whereas for photosynthesis occurs in the chloroplast. It builds glucose, it takes in carbon dioxide and gives off oxygen. So the total equation, if you'll look right here, these are opposites of each other. Both processes are going to utilize an electron transport chain and chemiosmosis for ATP production. So that's how they're similar. And if we look at these two, so photosynthesis is in green, cell respiration is in red, they do have a lot of similarities, but also a lot of differences. So you will need to know, how they're similar, how they're different, where things take place, what goes in, what comes out, the different stages, that type of thing.